Welcome to The Real Source, where real life writes the script. Here we bring you the true stories that grip your heart and ignite your imagination. Every episode, we dive deep into the dramas that unfold in everyday lives, transforming them into captivating tales. From unexpected twists to heartwarming moments, our stories are more than just entertainment, they're a reflection of the human spirit. Subscribe now and join us on this incredible journey. This is The Real Source, where reality becomes the most compelling story. On a warm February evening in 2020, the tranquil Phala Phala game farm, nestled in the verdant landscapes of Limpopo province of South Africa, exuded an aura of peace and serenity. This night, however, would forever alter the farm's serene history and plunge it into a storm of controversy and intrigue. The farm, known for its lush greenery, rolling hills, and abundant wildlife, was a picturesque oasis. The sweet scent of wildflowers mingled with the earthy aroma of freshly turned soil, creating an intoxicating fragrance that permeated the air. The gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze and the distant call of a hornbill added to the farm's tranquil ambience. Yet hidden within this idyllic setting lay a dark secret, one that would soon unravel with dramatic consequences. Buried within the rustic furniture of the farmhouse was a hidden fortune of at least $4 million in foreign currency. This substantial sum, reportedly the proceeds from the sale of game animals, was clandestinely stashed away, concealed from prying eyes. The farmhouse, with its thatched roof and weathered wooden beams, exuded a rustic charm, but on this particular night it became the epicenter of a high-stakes heist. The robbers, who seemed to have insider knowledge of the farm's layout, executed their plan with meticulous precision. Among the thieves was a domestic worker, familiar with the farmhouse's secrets and intricacies. As they navigated through the darkened corridors, the wooden floorboards creaked softly under their weight, amplifying the tension in the air. The scent of polished wood and aged leather filled their nostrils as they approached the hidden cache. Their hands, calloused and steady, worked swiftly to unearth the hidden money. As they rummaged through the furniture, the muffled rustle of dollar bills broke the stillness of the night. The farmhouse, typically a sanctuary of peace and solitude, now reverberated with the whispers of conspiracy and betrayal. The robbers' hearts pounded in their chests, a mix of fear and exhilaration coursing through their veins as they uncovered the fortune. Outside, the night was alive with the sounds of the African bush. Crickets chirped rhythmically, and the occasional howl of a distant jackal pierced the silence. The moon cast a silvery glow over the landscape, illuminating the vast expanse of the farm. The robbers, emboldened by the cloak of darkness, swiftly gathered the money and made their escape, leaving behind a trail of questions and suspicions. In the days following the heist, the atmosphere at the Phala Phala game farm was charged with tension and uncertainty. The scent of fresh hay and the rich, loamy aroma of the bushveld stood in stark contrast to the brewing storm of speculation and intrigue. The theft was not immediately reported to the police, a decision that would soon lead to accusations of a cover-up and fuel the fires of controversy. Cyril Ramaphosa, a shrewd businessman with deep ties to the cattle and game industries, defended the origin of the money. He asserted that the cash was from legitimate business transactions, specifically the sale of game animals, which is often conducted in cash. The farm, he explained, was part of his extensive business operations, which included high-value transactions frequently settled in hard currency. Yet this explanation did little to quell the rising tide of doubt and speculation. Political analyst Lukhona Mnguni raised critical questions about the legality and transparency of the transactions. Was the income declared for tax purposes? Was there an attempt to hide the money from authorities? These questions highlighted broader issues of financial transparency and accountability, particularly for a sitting president. The Financial Intelligence Centre Act in South Africa mandates the reporting of all cash payments exceeding €1,520 to prevent money laundering and corruption. The failure to report such a large sum intensified suspicions and fueled the scandal. As the Phala Phala Farmgate scandal unfolded, it intersected with the complex political landscape of South Africa. Ramaphosa, who had been striving to restore integrity to the African National Congress, ANC, and combat corruption, now found himself entangled in allegations that mirrored the very issues he had pledged to eradicate. The timing of the scandal was particularly damaging, coming as Ramaphosa faced re-election as ANC chairperson. Political opponents within the ANC, such as Tony Yangeni, seized the opportunity to challenge his leadership, though their attempts to force him to step aside were ultimately unsuccessful. The farm itself, usually a haven of natural beauty, was now a symbol of controversy. The gentle sounds of animals grazing and birds singing were a stark contrast to the noise of legal debates, political maneuvering and media scrutiny. The scent of the wild, mingled with the tension of human conflict, created an almost surreal backdrop to the unfolding drama. Despite Ramaphosa's explanations, critical questions remained unanswered. Why was such a large sum of money kept in cash and hidden in furniture instead of being deposited into a bank account? Was there an attempt to evade scrutiny or legal obligations? The delay in reporting the theft to the police also raised suspicions of a cover-up. John Steinhuisen, leader of the Democratic Alliance, questioned the presence of such a large amount of foreign currency at the farm and why it was hidden rather than banked. He suggested that there might have been an attempt to avoid scrutiny and legal consequences. As the scandal deepened, it became clear that the implications extended beyond Ramaphosa himself. The ANC, already grappling with multiple corruption scandals, including the infamous Gupta state capture affair, found its reputation further tarnished. The timing of the allegations against Ramaphosa was seen by some analysts as a strategic move by factions within the ANC to weaken his position and influence the party's internal power dynamics. Despite the turmoil, Ramaphosa's position within the ANC seemed resilient. Political analyst Daniel Silke noted that internal divisions and factional fighting were commonplace within the party, and that the scandal might not significantly impact Ramaphosa's chances of re-election as ANC chairperson. However, the broader political and social implications of the scandal continued to resonate, highlighting the persistent challenges of corruption and governance in South Africa. The story of the millions hidden in the furniture at Phala Phala Game Farm is a complex tapestry of intrigue, power and secrecy. It blends the serene beauty of the South African landscape with the gritty reality of political scandal and corruption. As the scent of fresh grass and the sounds of wildlife envelop the farm, the echoes of human ambition and conflict linger, painting a vivid picture of a nation grappling with its aspirations and its demons. Cyril Ramaphosa, sitting in his presidential office in Pretoria, felt the weight of the scandal pressing down on him. The room, adorned with accolades and memorabilia from his political and business career, felt unusually stifling. The air was heavy with the scent of polished wood and old books, a stark contrast to the fresh, open air of his game farm. The distant hum of traffic outside was a constant reminder of the bustling city and the relentless scrutiny he was under. Ramaphosa's thoughts drifted back to the farm, the place where he had sought solace and connection with nature. The Phala Phala Game Farm had been his retreat, a sanctuary where the stresses of political life seemed to melt away amid the sounds of rustling leaves and the calls of native birds. Now, it was tainted by controversy, its serene beauty overshadowed by the dark cloud of suspicion and scandal. As the investigation into the heist unfolded, the South African Police Service was tasked with unraveling the intricate web of the crime. The officers, donning their uniforms, stepped onto the farm, their senses assaulted by the fresh, earthy smells of the bushveld and the sounds of wildlife that seemed indifferent to the human drama. The farmhouse, with its rustic charm, now seemed a labyrinth of secrets waiting to be uncovered. The investigators meticulously combed through the scene, their keen eyes and experienced hands searching for clues. The scent of dust and aged wood filled the air as they opened drawers and examined furniture. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of paper added to the tension. The presence of such a significant amount of cash, hidden away, raised more questions than answers, exacerbated by the vague and often brazenly feeble explanations offered by the president himself. The officers felt the weight of the task ahead, knowing that this investigation could have far-reaching implications. The media, ever hungry for sensational stories, also descended on the scandal with fervour. Journalists and news crews flocked to the farm, their cameras capturing every detail. The sound of clicking shutters and the murmur of reporters filled the air, blending with the natural sounds of the farm. The scent of coffee from their flasks mingled with the fresh air that seemed to stretch forever. For Cyril Ramaphosa, Phala Phala was more than a business venture. It was a retreat from the tumultuous world of politics. He would often spend weekends there, walking among the expansive fields and observing the wildlife. The scent of wild sage and the sweet aroma of blooming acacias filled the air, offering a sharp contrast to the industrial scents of Johannesburg. The calls of guinea fowls and the rustle of small mammals in the underbrush created a natural symphony that soothed his mind. As he strolled through his estate, the president often reflected on his journey, from the fight against apartheid to the heights of political power. The serenity of the farm provided a stark contrast to the relentless demands of his office. However, the discovery of the hidden cash had now transformed his sanctuary into a stage for scandal. The immediate aftermath of the heist was marked by a suffocating silence. The decision not to report the theft to the police immediately was controversial, fueling whispers of conspiracy and corruption. The local community, once accustomed to the farm's tranquil presence, now buzzed with rumors. The scent of blooming jacarandas was heavy in the air, but it could not mask the tension that gripped the area. Neighbors and farm workers speculated about the source of the money. Was it truly from the sale of game animals, as Ramaphosa claimed? Or was there a more sinister explanation? The sounds of daily farm life, cattle lowing, birds chirping, were now interspersed with hushed conversations and furtive glances. The sense of unease was palpable. The investigators faced a daunting task. The farmhouse, with its creaking floorboards and scent of old wood, held many secrets. The team methodically examined each room, the glow of their flashlights revealing hidden compartments and concealed spaces. The scent of leather-bound books mixed with the faint odor of dust and neglect. Every detail was scrutinized, the placement of furniture, the patterns of wear on the floors, and the faint impressions left by the removed cash. The investigators' senses were on high alert. The creak of a door hinge, the rustle of papers, every sound was a potential clue. The weight of their task was immense. They knew that their findings could have significant political repercussions. As news of the heist broke, media outlets around the world descended on Phala Phala. The once quiet roads leading to the farm were now clogged with news vans and satellite trucks. The air was filled with the hum of generators and the smell of diesel fuel. Reporters jostled for position, their voices rising in a cacophony of questions and speculation. Camera crews set up along the perimeter, their lenses capturing every movement. The flash of cameras and the buzz of drones overhead added to the chaotic scene. The once peaceful sounds of nature were drowned out by the relentless chatter of the press, eager to uncover every detail of the scandal. In response to the growing media storm, Ramaphosa held a press conference. The room was filled with the scent of fresh ink and the rustle of notepads as journalists prepared to record his every word. The tension was palpable, the air heavy with anticipation. Ramaphosa, dressed in a crisp suit, stood before the gathered press. His face was a mask of calm determination, but his eyes revealed the strain of the past weeks. He reiterated that the money was from legitimate business transactions, specifically the sale of game animals. He explained that it was common practice in the industry to conduct large transactions in cash, particularly with international clients. Despite his explanations, the questions persisted. Why was the money hidden in furniture? Why was the theft not reported immediately? The scent of doubt lingered in the air, mingling with the musty smell of the conference room. The president's words did little to dispel the cloud of suspicion that hung over him. As the scandal unfolded, the political ramifications became increasingly apparent. Within the African National Congress, factions began to position themselves for advantage. The scent of political ambition was as thick as the scent of blooming jasmine in the ANC headquarters. The sounds of hushed conversations and the shuffle of documents filled the air as members plotted their next moves. Ramaphosa's opponents seized on the scandal, using it as a weapon to undermine his leadership. Tony Yengeni, among others, called for his resignation, arguing that the scandal had irreparably damaged the party's reputation. The atmosphere in the ANC was charged with tension, the scent of betrayal, and the sound of whispered conspiracies permeating every corner. The scandal had a profound impact on the local community around Phala Phala. The once bustling farm, with its familiar smells of livestock and fresh produce, now seemed eerily quiet. Workers went about their tasks with a sense of unease, their movements slower, their conversations more guarded. Local businesses, which had benefited from the farm's presence, also felt the sting of the scandal. The scent of freshly brewed coffee in the local cafes was overlaid with the bitterness of lost income and uncertainty. The sounds of daily life, children playing, vendors calling out, were subdued, overshadowed by the weight of the unfolding drama. As legal proceedings began, the courtroom became the new stage for the scandal. The scent of polished wood and the crispness of legal documents filled the air. Lawyers, dressed in their dark suits, moved with a purposeful urgency, their footsteps echoing on the marble floors. The prosecution presented its case with meticulous detail, highlighting the inconsistencies and unanswered questions surrounding the hidden cash. The defense, equally prepared, argued for the legitimacy of the transactions and the necessity of cash in certain business dealings. The tension in the courtroom was palpable, the scent of anticipation mingling with the sterile smell of the courtroom. Despite the detailed investigations and legal proceedings, several critical questions remained unanswered. Why was such a large sum of money kept in cash and hidden in furniture instead of being deposited in a bank? Was there an attempt to evade scrutiny or legal obligations? The delay in reporting the theft to the police also raised suspicions of a cover-up. These unanswered questions continued to fuel speculation and controversy. The scent of uncertainty hung heavily in the air, a constant reminder of the unresolved aspects of the scandal. The sounds of legal arguments and media debates echoed the persistent doubts and suspicions that surrounded the case. The scandal's implications extended far beyond Ramaphosa and his immediate circle. It highlighted the broader issues of financial transparency and accountability in South Africa. The scent of change was in the air as calls for stricter regulations and oversight grew louder. The sounds of political debates and public protests became a regular backdrop to daily life. Within the ANC, the scandal exposed deep-seated divisions and rivalries. The party, already grappling with multiple corruption scandals, found itself at a crossroads. The scent of political upheaval was strong, as factions vied for power and influence. The future of the ANC and its leadership hung in the balance, with the scandal acting as a catalyst for potential change. As the dust began to settle, Ramaphosa found himself reflecting on the events that had transpired. Sitting in his office, the scent of fresh coffee mingling with the smell of polished wood, he pondered the lessons learned. The sounds of the city outside served as a constant reminder of the relentless pace of political life. Ramaphosa knew that the scandal had changed him and his presidency. The peaceful sanctuary of Phala Phala, with its vibrant wildlife and soothing sounds, had been forever altered. The scent of controversy still lingered, a reminder of the challenges he faced and the resilience required to overcome them. Today, many questions remain unanswered. Speculation and opinions are still rife, and resentment for, as many see it, failure of the system to deliver justice to those in powerful positions still cuts deep. Maybe we will never know where the money really came from, why it was hidden, and why the authorities never took action against what, on the surface anyway, seems to be deeds for which the ordinary man in South Africa would have faced serious jail time. But who knows? By a huge stroke of luck and drastic changes in the status quo that grips the country, clarity might prevail in the distant future. One can only hope. Leave a comment on whether you think the world will ever know the truth behind the whole saga. And remember to smash that like button, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications so that you never miss new and captivating true life dramas told in story format when we upload every week. Cheers till next time.